Well, I was gonna put you on this wonderful, wonderful IKEA couch you can spread out, but if you want the chair,
no, I got the whole thing.
I know.
Yeah, I love everything about you, Witchy.
Thank you. I literally said the same when you came out. I was like, fashion, makeup, hair.
Go team, go team.
Yes, it's just gonna be a lovely day of two fashionistas up on this stage.
I love it.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Oh, I've got like so much space.
I know. Spread out, girl. Make yourself at home.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Is it your first time in Columbus?
It's not. So, fun fact, I'm actually from Ohio.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I was born in Cleveland.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I every year since I was like 15, I would come down to Columbus for OhioCon. So, it's not my first time in the venue. First time guesting at a Columbus venue, though.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Cool. I have been in the con space community for probably like 15 years.
Yeah.
And I've always thought OhioCon was the best con name on the planet.
It's because Ohio. It's like
Ohio.
oh, good morning, con. And it's like, it's a pun. And I love a pun because I'm like a dad inside.
I do love that. I love that. Well, welcome to Animate. Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize how well I knew you and your voice until I got this panel.
Oh my
Did
gosh.
you know you have over 400 IMDb credits?
Yes.
That is crazy.
It's crazy.
That
and
is
I'm
nuts.
sure there's
Did
actually...
you start in the womb?
I started when I was 15.
That makes sense.
So not in the womb, but
That
again,
makes sense.
from Ohio. So I sat down and Googled how to become a voice actor when I was 14, 15. And that's all I've done with my life. And I have no other special skills. So if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm going to die.
No, I don't believe that at all. Like, Lisa, you can be on the megaphone being like, stay in your homes.
Oh my gosh, no.
Everyone be safe.
I was like, okay, like my goal is to like sneak into like a group where everybody's like really competent. I'm like, okay, I will like entertain you around the campfire at night.
There it is.
I'll be your personal psychiatrist. Just please protect me because I can't do anything.
Even in the apocalypse, people need entertainment.
It's true. It's like
so.
I will try to bring you joy.
I love that you just Googled how to be a voice actor when you were 15, and then you're like, I became a voice actor. That is crazy. That's like normally like you're like, I'm just gonna try and figure it out, and you're like, well, you probably just can't Google it, but you did.
It's crazy though, because like I've been doing it for 18 years now. I'm older now. I'm older.
We do be getting that way.
Yeah, we be getting that way.
It sometimes doesn't stop.
Yeah, so like I am so old that when I sat down and Googled how to become a voice actor, this website that now exists, which if you are interested in voice acting, please go check it out. It's iwanttobeavoiceactor.com.
Wow.
Did not exist when I was looking to like what do I do? So no, instead I found a forum called the Voice Acting Alliance, and I joined it, and I made a bunch of friends and practiced that way, and it's really funny because a lot of actors who are voicing right now came from this forum secretly. It's like a secret voice acting fight club. You would not believe how many people came from this forum, and nobody wants to talk about it.
That's so funny. You're like, what was your username?
No, literally, I'm just like, I know so many usernames, so many.
Crazy.
It's just like I meet you in the wild, I'm just like, hey, I have a couple of them still as their username in my phone too. So it's just like
I want to know who they are, but I don't want to out
Yeah,
them
no,
like
some people don't want to be outed,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
fair.
it's more than you think.
That is nuts. Times are so different now.
Yeah,
I feel like
so
the
different.
entire community is very competitive and tough to get into now, I would say. And then now, before it was just like, and I got on a forum.
I mean,
sure it was more difficult.
It's like, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like, it's harder in some ways, but it's also a lot easier in other ways too. Because like, for instance, there were no specific voice acting classes back when I was starting, you know, like, and it does still hold true that like, you should like, you know, like take theater classes because it's still acting.
Yes.
But there are so many wonderful people who are like Richard Horvitz, for instance, teaches a voice acting class.
Yeah.
I took his class for the first time 8 years ago when he happened to come to Texas, and it was the first ever voice acting class I had taken.
Richard Horvitz from Invaders Zim,
yes,
right?
yeah, and he's here at this con. Go say hi to him. He's so sweet, extremely talented.
Yes, and a very distinct voice.
Unbelievable,
I would say.
unbelievable,
That's so cool. Well, you've kind of gotten into how you got your start, but can you tell me a little bit about the beginning, like your first role, kind of your origin story, I guess?
So again, from Ohio, as you guys probably know, there's not much here for voice acting. So a lot of what I was doing was online. Originally, I wanted to be Laura Croft. So I wanted to
As we
grow
all
up.
do.
Yes, I wanted to grow up to be Laura Croft, and then I realized that wasn't a profession that you could do. And then I was like, well, I'll be an archaeologist. And then I was like, oh, that doesn't actually involve raiding tombs and shooting dinosaurs like Laura Croft. So I was like, well, never mind. But I was like, oh, if I can't be Laura Croft, maybe one day I could voice Laura Croft or like, live out these different like lives through these characters. Fictionally. I don't actually have to raid tombs and shoot dinosaurs. So, and then I sat down and Googled, and my mom was a huge gamer, so I played a lot of video games growing up since I was a little girl. Yeah, so she's actually played every Tomb Raider, every Silent Hill, beaten them all, like Resident Evils and stuff. So I get a lot of that from her. She used to skip lunch and spend all her money at the arcade growing up. So
wow, what a cool mom.
Yeah, no, she's awesome. And so she was always super supportive. She raised me as a single mother. And she was like, you don't have to go to college, just follow your dreams, like do what you want to do. And it's a little sad because she actually wanted to be an actor and her mom was not supportive. It's a little sad. She told my mom that she was too ugly and stupid to be an actor, which is horrible thing to say. So
and not true.
Not true at all. I'm just like, excuse me? She's like so gorgeous. Like what? And she's very intelligent. So she, thankfully was so supportive and loving towards me with what I wanted to do. So she actually discouraged me from going to college. She's like, you don't need to do that. And I'm like, okay.
Don't get that expensive piece of paper.
Yeah. So I found that forum. I made a lot of friends. I was, practicing for a really long time. The first ever thing I booked was this indie game called Sacred Earth Bonds, and I played this little pink-haired demon girl with little demon horns. She was like a little villain boss, and her name was Melodia Akakios. I still remember. It's crazy. And that was the first ever thing I did. And then, of course, I did a lot of fan dubs, just to practice and learn, made friends, did indie games, radio plays. Eventually I started doing commercial work, remotely, and then I would drive to New York every now and then for a job and drive back to Ohio, which is a very long drive. And then I finally moved to Texas from Ohio in, I want to say 2017, 2017, and started doing stuff for Funimation. But I was voice acting for 10 years before anybody knew anything I was in. So I had almost a decade of experience, and I've also did some abridged work for Team 4-Star. I voiced Android 18.
Wow,
and
what an iconic thing to
so
do,
much
I
fun.
would say.
Yeah, but a lot of people think I got my start with that. I'm like, oh no, I was voice acting for a really long time before that. Just you finally something because we were friends. You're like, do you want to do this? I'm like, I didn't even know what an abridged series was. I was like, yeah, dude, I love Android 18. Yeah. So it was really fun, and then moved to Texas, started doing stuff for Funimation, and then started flying to LA for little jobs every now and then I decided to move to LA 2020, right when COVID hit, which was a weird time.
Girl.
Oh
Me
my
too.
gosh, yeah, you're just let's go.
Yeah.
But and then was roommates with some other voice actors, and we all went in on a Studio Bricks booth, and we're doing stuff remotely, and then I'm still there.
Love that.
Yeah, we're not roommates anymore. We've all gone off, but it was super fun.
But it was good to have roommates during
Yes.
COVID, I would say.
Oh
so
my
you
gosh.
Don't go crazy.
Yeah. No, it was fun too, because we would get booked for Walla, which normally you would go into studio and be in a booth with four other people, 5 other people, and you'd be doing Walla. Well, for COVID, you couldn't have people coming in anymore. So the 4 of us would cram into this little booth, and it would the window would fog off, and we would do remote Walla. So we did so much Walla for Funimation Crunchyroll during that time, and little bits that keep coming back.
So explain what Walla
Yeah.
is to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you who might not know what Walla is, it's all the background chatter that isn't assigned to a specific character. So crowds cheering, which one of my favorite things to do is cheer and simp. I love to cheer and simp. I love to do the woos and stuff. So it was really fun. So a lot of the screaming and running around, especially in Attack on Titan, a lot of that was us just screaming, doing multiple passes, running and around and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm just picturing 4 of y'all in a whisper room booth, just being
It was so steamy. It was so steamy in there. We would have to crack it in between takes. We're just dripping. So we're just oh my God. It's so, it was smaller than this couch. It was just the 4 of us were
because it's in your home. In a room.
Yeah.
It's
so
a room in a room.
No, for real. So it was and we had it structured by height. So So my roommates were it was me, it was Damon Mills, Susie Young, and Howard Wong, and it was like Howard and Susie in the front and me and Damon in the back, and we're just like, it is so hot in here.
You were closest to the door though.
Yes,
so
yes.
You're like,
no, it's just like, ooh, no, it was fine. It was fine.
That's very cool. Well, are you able to are y'all now still doing stuff at home, would you say, after COVID? Did it kind of never transition back, or are you going into studios
This is a great question. I would say more often than not, I am going into studio again. So they're not, like, a lot of stuff has transitioned away from remote. Some stuff, you still can, you know, like, especially commercials, those have always kind of mainly been remote, but, like, a lot of video game or, like, anime stuff, like, you're going back in. Yeah.
You also mentioned commercials and that you did commercial work for 10 years. A lot of audience, when they think of voice acting, they think of anime and cartoons. But there are tons of voice actors who just do commercial work. Do you enjoy doing commercial work? I feel like it pays well as well, and you wouldn't guess that. Like, do you enjoy doing commercial work too?
I love doing everything. I love acting. I love to be involved. So I do anime, I do video games, I do commercial work, I do a ton of audiobooks. So
that's cool.
Yeah. And I also, the little things that nobody would ever hear, I do e-learning modules for certain companies. So there was one for this hospital that booked me. I did their grief training course for their nurses. So just like talking about like how to like, you know, like talk to patients and, you know, who are dealing with grief.
And you're learning yourself.
I was like, okay, also like,
that's really cool.
That course was actually like really hard. I kept crying while I was like reading through it. I had to like stop and just like, okay. Because it was like talking about just like, you know, going through it and like the loved ones. It's just like, it was really emotional. I had to be like, oh, this is like really heavy stuff.
You need to put therapist on your IMDb now
like
too. You're like, I'm molding the youth. I'm helping people grieve.
Yeah, it was, so it's fun. Like I love to do everything.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
You are all over the board with everything.
Thank you.
I was just going through your history and I was like, wow, director, you have your own post-production studio, which is really cool. Yeah, you just
thank you.
have so much.
I just, for better or for worse, I just love to do everything.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, everyone, please don't be shy. If you are ready to line up and ask your questions, there are no wrong questions here. Please.
I love your Furina cosplay.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I was like, I'm going to call you out. I love
so
it.
Good. There's so many good cosplays at this convention, too. Oh, Furina, the first one. Introduce yourself and go ahead and ask your question.
I'm Zaylin, and I have a question about, like, one of your favorite lines that you voiced. Do you have like, a favorite line you said as Furina?
Oh my God, there's so many. First of all, like, gorgeous. Is your bow like glowing? Like, what is happening here? Is it light up? Oh, that's your vision lights up. I love that. Oh my gosh,
fiber optics.
It looks so good. I love to laugh. I love to laugh as Furina, which fun story. Like for the audition for Furina, everybody's always under a code name, and we don't know what the characters look like when we're auditioning.
That makes sense.
So I had no idea what she looked like. I'd never played Genshin. I didn't know what an Archon was. It was under a code name. I was like, I think this might be Genshin. I don't know. I was reading through her profile and her lines, and I was like, you know what? I feel like having a laugh at the top of this first line would be fun. So I just did it. It wasn't written there at all. And I got very lucky because like when they brought me in, they're like, we loved your laugh. Like that, we heard that laugh. We're like, that's Furina. And I was like, oh my God, if I hadn't put that in, who knows what would have happened, you know? But so I love to laugh as her. I love doing a toodaloo. And I also love to cry. Lots of crying.
You're like, and the grief training comes in
grief training. No, literally.
For voice acting.
Absolutely. No, I was just sobbing in the booth for most of that recording. I lived about in traffic in LA. I lived about 2 hours from where the studio's at, and I would have like a 9 a.m. session, so I'd have to get up at like 5:36, get ready, drive down, and then like, okay, I'd have like a Red Bull in my hand. I'd be in the booth. It's Furina time, and I'm just crying, like just drinking Red Bull, just like, oh my God, somebody give her a hug, you know? But so many good lines. It's a great question.
You did a really great job.
Oh, thank you so much. Your cosplay is so good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you. Also, thank you for being the first. It's always very nerve-wracking to be the first person.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. What's your question?
do you own like a lot of merch of the characters that you voice act?
This is so funny. I do. I have like a glass case of all my babies. It's really funny though, because like I like. There's like a lot of Komi figures in particular. So I'm just like, oh, I want this one. And so I got does anybody know about like the Komi bunny girl figure?
What is it called? That brand. I know what you're talking about.
So I ordered her and she came in and I was like, oh no, my daughter's huge. She's like, she's ginormous. She's like this big. And I'm like, she's not fitting in my glass case. I know, I'm like, where did I put her? But like her stockings are like made of actual nylon material. And I was like, oh, I can like touch her little legs. And like, there's just little tights on. So she's like she can't be in the glass case because she will not fit. She's huge. But yeah, so I've got stuff that I've either bought or like I save every fan gift I've ever gotten. I also have like little binders and books of fan art that people have given me. And I save everything. But yeah, great question.
Thank you.
I had to stop buying the Elena figures from Wandering Witch, though, because they will not stop making them. I'm like, I don't have any more room. I don't have room.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So as one of the, I guess, founders of Sound Cadence, is there any, like, dream, like, show that you would want to work on?
Sure,
Or a game or a movie or...
Yeah, so fun fact, Sound Cadence Studios is my studio. I am the only founder, and I'm also the CEO of it. And it started from my bedroom in Ohio, and then when I moved to Texas, I shared a building with Team 4-Star. They were very sweet to let me use a room, and they eventually left that building, and I took over the rent for it and like made it the whole studio. And then we recently opened up a Burbank location as well. So we've got 2 locations, one in Dallas and one in Burbank. And so my dream projects, listen, I have no control over what we get because, you know, clients contact us and, you know, we work on stuff. So we're the recording studio for Zenless Zone Zero, for those of you who play. And I'm also one of the voice directors on it, which has been really, really fun. My dream project would be to do Final Fantasy VIII. It is my favorite game of all time. I have a Squall's Griever tattoo on my shoulder that you cannot see right now because I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. But I would like not actually kill, but I would die to be able to produce that dub or direct it or even voice. And like I could be a dog on the street, bark woof. I just want to touch it in some way, shape, or form.
Square Enix, please.
Yes, please. As far as anime, I don't think it would ever happen. But if they ever dub Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, it's like one of my favorite series of all time. I would love to work on it. It would be very hard to localize though.
You know what to do, everyone. Get on your phones, write on threads at Square Enix.
It's like, please.
Write your emails.
Thank you.
Yeah, great question, though.
Hi, Perry.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good.
The sad thing is he kind of took my question, so I'll go with another one.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
If you had the choice, what would you go back and change about a prior performance that you've done?
Oh man, it's so hard. Like it's so hard because like I feel like everybody like could like watch their older work and be like, oh, I would change this or I could do this better. But I personally try not to have that mentality. Like I'm always doing the best I can do in the moment. And without whatever was happening there, like I wouldn't have had the growth that kind of comes from experience and stuff. So it'd be cool to go back and be like, oh, like I could totally do this better now.
Like if you had the opportunity to like redub something or like revoice, like what would you do?
I mean,
even
like
if you loved doing it,
Yeah.
like maybe the experience was fun and the cast was
yeah.
fun.
Oh, you know what?
So
if I could relive something, it would be dubbing Keijo because Keijo was so much fun. For those of you who do not know what Keijo is, it is an anime where the girls fight with their boobs and butts, and they've got all these crazy attack names like the Vacuum Butt Cannon, the Gates of Booty Lawn, Battack on Titan, and it is. Yeah, I can't make it up. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, and there's this one girl who has like this butt attack and her butt growls. It's like a wolf attack. Like I can't make it up. And it's actually really body positive. And it's just all these girls who are like, it takes it very seriously, but it's like a comedy. Yeah. And there's a wide variety of female body types and they all have like their strengths and like, you know, some are faster, some hit heavier. It's like really fun. I love it. Go check it out. It's Keijo with 8 exclamation points after it.
There's some serious artists and geniuses out there making anime. And
no,
for that, I would
crazy.
like to thank you.
Yeah. But great question. Yeah, no, thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, my name's Verona, and my question is kind of similar to the Furina cosplayers.
Sure.
But just overall, what was your favorite part of being part of Genshin Impact?
Yeah, I mean, like I feel I truly got so lucky to have a character that had so many layers and so much depth to her. That's always just a treat to voice in general. But the community, the fan community, has been so incredibly sweet and kind, and I think that's just been wonderful. Is like Furina's story in particular, I feel resonates with a lot of people because you know, she's doing a lot of masking. She's doing a lot of emotional masking. She's going through her day pretending everything is okay, and I feel everybody knows what it's like to pretend to be okay when you're not. And that really resonates. And full disclosure, I'm actually bipolar. So masking is something that I've had to do a lot throughout my life. So a lot of like, I'm gonna start crying when I'm thinking about, but like being in the booth and just like feeling what she's going through. Obviously, I haven't been around for 500 years, but like just wanting to help people and doing your best and not being able to like be honest, just like, no, like you don't understand. I'm trying to help you. I'm doing this for you. And all like, she's so emotionally strong. And I love female characters that have that type of emotional strength. Yuna from Final Fantasy X is another character that has a lot of emotional strength. I don't voice Yuna. I just love Yuna. I'm a huge Yuna fan.
A great game as well.
It's so good. But yeah, so I just really love all of that. I love her story, and I just think the team put so much care into it. Yeah, thank you for your question, Verona. Hello.
Hello, call me Chris. So you mentioned you like Red Bull earlier.
I do love Red Bull.
What's your favorite flavor?
Sugar-free Red Bull is my favorite, but if we're doing like not like just boring old plain, it's cranberry Red Bull.
Oh, cranberry got discontinued.
So what I like to do...
Don't mention it.
No. So what I like to do is I like to take sugar-free Red Bull and mix it with cranberry juice. I don't drink alcohol. So like whenever my friends are having drinks, like that's my fun drink. I'm like, I'm participating. Here's my little drink.
It's making you hyped up.
Yeah, it's hyped up. I'm your designated driver.
Yeah, there
Speed
you go.
racer, not speed racer. Let's go. Yeah.
Speed limit racer.
Speed limit racer. No, I drive like a grandma, so it's fine.
That is a really good question.
That's a great question. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yay, Furina, welcome back.
Hi. I don't know if you answered this earlier,
Yeah.
but is Yuna your favorite Final Fantasy character, or do you have someone else?
This is a great question. So Yuna is my favorite female Final Fantasy character. Even though like 8 is my favorite game, I objectively think 10 is the best game in the series if you're talking traditional turn-based roleplay. I'm getting up on my little soapbox here.
I love it. I love Final Fantasy in general.
It's so good. So I love all of the Final Fantasy games, don't get me wrong, but I feel like 10 perfected the turn-based system with the character swaps. Like you can just swap your characters in battle. They made the perfect system and then they never used it again. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? So 8's my favorite. Squall is my favorite male character because I've been in love with him since I was 8 years old. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Everybody has
Yeah,
that one
that
Final
one.
Fantasy
That
character
one.
that awoken something in
Yeah,
them.
I'm just
so
like, oh.
mine's Zach, yours is Squall. It happens.
Yours is healthier than mine.
Well, yes.
It's fine, you know.
That's what I want in life, you know?
But yeah, I love Yuna. I love Yuna so much. I think she had such a burden on her shoulders, and she still, much like Furina, smiled throughout it. It just has like so much emotional strength. I think that's so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hi, I love your mask.
I agree.
My friend made it for me.
That's awesome.
I'm Rin, and as someone who's currently a voice actor, I want to know if you have any major tips that could help me improve.
Yeah. So if you haven't visited this website that did not exist back when I was started, www.iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, definitely check it out. Now for some personal tips. I went to a panel by the wonderful Jennifer Hale a few years back, and she recommended doing 5 minutes of nonfiction cold reading and 5 minutes of fiction cold reading every day. For those of you who do not know what cold reading is, it's taking something that you have not read before and reading it out loud for the first time. So for voice acting, we don't get our scripts in advance. So, all of Furina is cold reading. I'm coming in, I'm seeing the lines for the first time. I don't get to practice, like everything with anime, video games. Hopefully, for audiobooks, you're reading the book ahead of time, but it's so dense, there's no way you can memorize it. So it's like, being really good at cold reading is super important. Obviously, taking acting classes first because you are acting. The voice is just the instrument that you're using. And now for something that I feel like a lot of people don't really take into account, make sure you have a life outside of this. Make sure you are filling your well with, life experiences, with like time with friends, with like if there's art that moves you, whether it be movies, books, video games, make sure you're filling your well, because you draw from that well in your own artwork. And the more experiences you have and the more you have that filled, the more you have to draw from. And I feel like some people, like myself included, have made the mistake at times of like just getting so like wrapped up in the grind, especially when there's so much rejection and so much of just like, constantly putting yourself out there, because for every like 100 auditions you submit, you're lucky to book like 4 of them, and that's doing well, or like booking 1 in 40, like that, you're doing great, So it's definitely, you want to make sure that you have other things, because, life is short and there's more to it than just that. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi there.
My name is Roberto. Oh, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine.
I love
if
your
you grab
Denki
the
shirt, Roberto.
thicker, oh, there we
Oh,
go.
wow, that was
Hey,
like
there we
magic. Just like,
go.
never mind.
And he said, you know what? I'll take it off this stand.
You're like, I got it.
So could you please share your experience voice acting for the Five Nights at Freddy's series?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is so funny. Like this was one of the jobs that I booked remotely. It was, I had a voices.com account at the time, and it was just a posting that said, need zany character voices. And I'm like, well, I'm zany and I can do character voices. Yeah, I've got those inside of me. So, I auditioned for it. I guess Scott Cawthorn's name was there, but I didn't know who that was. So I was just like, here you go. Here's my audition. I ended up booking it, and I did three different voices. And then I sent it off. He just used my audition. And then he was like, cool. And I got paid. I'm like, great, awesome. And then like months later, I'm like driving to like pick up a friend from the airport, and I'm like waiting in the lot, and I have a friend text me like, you're in Five Nights? I'm like, I am? Like, what do you mean? And like they sent me a screenshot of the credits for FNAF World, and it had me listed. And I was like, oh, that's what that was.
Wait, so they
Yeah.
used your audition
Yeah,
in the game?
Yeah, they were just like, we liked your audition so much, like, and just submit your like WAV file, because it gets compressed.
Yeah.
For like, they're like, just give us your raw, and they just used the audition.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was only a couple lines, and I voiced Toy Chica, Nightmare Chica, and JJ in FNAF World. And then Scott brought me back for like Ultimate Custom Night, Special Delivery, AR, and I also did like the elevator voice in a game. I voiced Clara in Sister Location. It was really fun, but yeah, I had no idea, just complete stupid blind luck.
Am I?
Yeah, but he was super sweet. I haven't met him. I've only ever like emailed, like he gives me a script, I send it in, and I've never met him, never spoken to him, but he's always been very nice.
They're doing a Halloween Horror Nights Five Nights at Freddy's now too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
you're gonna have to go.
Oh my god, I have to go. I
Yeah.
must go.
Yeah.
But yeah, great question.
Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, I love Toy Chica. Very, very blessed.
Yeah, she's cute.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Josh, and
Hey,
I'm
Josh.
curious. So
Yeah.
you voiced both Furina and Focalor
Yes.
in Genshin Impact, and I'm
Yes.
assuming based off of what you said, you auditioned for Furina. So I'm
Yeah.
curious as to how you sort of found and developed both of those voices.
This is a great question. So for the audition for Furina, they already like they didn't say everything, but they already explained that there were things happening, in terms of like having herself split and there being like these emotional shifts. So the audition had a lot of the emotional shifts that you see for Furina in the game. When we got to the scene, where Focalor shows up and starts talking for the first time, we spent a very long time. I think it was like, so normally they'd bring me in for like 4-hour sessions, and it was me, the director, and the client, and we spent a long time breaking down this conversation between Focalor and Furina and experimenting with the voice, be like, okay, how do we want to do this? And my interpretation for it was kind of like treating Focalor kind of like a Greek god, in terms of like, she cares, she has empathy, but her empathy is not the same as human empathy, especially because she kind of split herself into Furina. So it's like, okay, how does somebody, talk when they don't have the same emotional connection and they are divine, but they clearly care a lot. So we did that, and we played with some different voice types. We settled on the lower pitch, and then what we did is we recorded all of Furina first. Then we went back and recorded all of Focalors, and then we listened to the conversation and we did pickups, so that it sounded like they were talking to each other. And they would play me and I'd play off of myself. So it like sounded like a conversation, which it was so cool. And we spent so much time, the client like cared so much. We spent a lot of time like dissecting and like, you know, like really like playing with it. I'm so proud of how that scene turned out. It was so cool. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great scene with Nicolette as well. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Ray is amazing as Nicolette. Like, welcome back. Hi there.
Hello. Do you ever feel disappointed that any of your other roles like overshadow like some that you like more? Like how you're Furina. When people hear your name, they think, oh, you voiced Furina from Genshin Impact.
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, for me personally, like it doesn't bother me. Like I love like everything I've gotten to do. I love all of my characters. I have personal favorites that are like super obscure. Like one of my favorite things I've gotten to do was Cathali in World End. Like, what are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you help us? Is the full title. It's a long title.
That is a long title. Very anime.
Very anime. I've loved that role, and you know, like for me, it's like living the experience is what brings me joy, and then like having anything I do touch a fan emotionally, be like, I love this. That makes me so happy that like it doesn't really overshadow anything. I'm just happy that people like like the work. And even obscure like characters, I have people coming up being just like, for instance, like people have come to be like, I love Halara in Raincoat. I'm like, I loved being Halara. I'm so glad that you like this. So yeah. I don't mind at all.
I feel like it's not overshadowing, but it's still an experience that you get to keep. And if it touches anybody, it's made an impact.
Exactly. Yeah. And so much of what we do is like alone and isolated. Like we have a great time doing it, but I'm like, I don't know if anybody's watching this or playing this or like if it's having an effect on anybody. So that's why doing cons is so wonderful because I get to have these conversations with everybody.
Yeah. Great question.
Yeah, thank you.
Our last question of the day.
Yes,
Hi there.
Toy Chica.
Hello.
Hello.
I am Jaden, and my question is, so what made you want to go into voice acting?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I just like, I guess I grew up loving video games, loving animation. I love audio. I love voices. I used to like watch cartoons and be like, oh my gosh, this character in Rocket Power is the same actor who plays Riku in Kingdom Hearts. That's David Gallagher. And I'd wait to watch the credits and be like, I'm right. And then, you know, like I love voices. I love audio. I love storytelling. And I think storytelling, you know, since the dawn of man has been so important for everybody in terms of like connecting just with each other and, you know, learning and having like these wonderful like emotional experiences and just for me, Final Fantasy VIII was my first ever JRPG, first ever like game where I saw like this beautiful CG cinematic, and it's also a game that helped me through some of the darkest times of my life. And like I would not be here if that game didn't exist, and that goes back to storytelling. You know, I wouldn't still be around. I'm glad I am, but like, and I just knowing that like something I get to contribute to has that effect on other people too is just so beautiful and wonderful. But I just like stories. I like playing. And I'm like, it's a job. Yeah,
so
no.
true.
Oh my gosh, so lucky.
You get to become your favorite characters in every franchise and usually wear pajamas while you do it.
It's true. I do like, so I haven't gotten to the pajama thing. You can. I'm usually just like, I'm in a little dress or I'm in a yoga clothes.
Whatever you're comfortable in.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it doesn't make noise, you're good.
Fair. Good point, actually. Great question.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
today.
for having me, Witchy.
Yeah, it was so
Oh my
lovely. It was a
gosh.
great way to start my day.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I know you live in the world of
Yes.
NDAs,
Yes.
but is there anything that you can talk about that you would love for the audience to look out for that you have coming up?
Yes, so nothing coming up that I can say, but there's a couple things that have been out that maybe you do not know.
Yes.
One of them is I am really honored to have gotten to voice acrobatic Silky and Don for anybody who's been watching that. Again, I cried a lot doing that.
Yeah.
Lots of tears, lots of emotional trauma happening. So please check that out, not just for Acro Silky, but the show is like so beautifully animated, so good. The cast is wonderful. Yeah, I think that's all I got right now, but keep an eye out.
Yeah, definitely. Can I get one more round of applause for Amber Lee
Thank
Connors?
you.